I am starting to get a little bit worried about Manchester United's prospects going into next season because despite the fact that we have already signed Mateus Cunha and it looks more likely day by day that we're going to sign BRYAN MBEUMO, I just don't think it's enough because all of last season I got told unanimously by the fan base that Amorim is not to blame for where we are and why we are as bad as we are because he doesn't have his profile of players, which I think is a valid argument. I may not agree with it, but it's a valid argument. I can see the logic. So I then ask myself, so how are we going to rebuild the squad then? Because we had 100 million reportedly on the table for Bruno Fernandes, which we didn't take. Bruno wanted to stay apparently. Amorim wanted him to stay. Whatever you believe, Bruno's staying. That's 100 million we could have used to rebuild the squad, but people didn't want to let go of Bruno. All right, cool. Where is the money coming from then to buy a wing back? Because Delot's not good enough. Dorgu, arguably, is not good enough. Some people think it's too soon to judge him. Some people think he will come good. But the point is, Dorgu alone is not good enough. Whether you rate him or you don't rate him, if he gets injured, we're screwed. We're back to square one. Amad Diallo, same thing. If he gets injured, we are screwed. We are back to square one. We literally were last season when he was out. So we definitely need two wing backs, arguably three, if you want to be harsh, but definitely two wing backs who are capable of starting in this Manchester United team or providing competition for places. Then we move into the midfield. I don't think any one of our current midfield combinations is good enough. Whether you rate Mainu or Bruno or Casemiro or Ugarte, whether you rate those individual players on an individual level or not is besides the point. I think as a pairing, whichever combination you put together, whether it's Bruno and Ugarte or Bruno and Casemiro or Mainu with any one of of Ugarte and Casemiro, it just doesn't work in my opinion. At least not against most decent Premier League teams. So we need at least one new midfielder, arguably two, to come into that pivot. And then you look at the striking position and the attacking positions. Cool, we've signed Mbeumo. Cool, we've signed Cunha. But we still haven't replaced either Højlund or Joshua Zirkzee, who were reportedly planning to sell. And I don't think anybody's going to buy Højlund, by the way. But we'll talk about that in a few seconds. Then we've got the low-hanging fruit, the goalkeeping position. That also needs to be replaced as well. And I just ask myself, like, where is the money coming from to sign all of these players? You then look at the fact that we haven't really sold very well this summer, because despite the fact that we've gotten rid of Eriksen, Lindelof, Malacia, and a handful of other squad players that might be slipping my mind, we haven't sold any of the players we actually want to get rid of. We haven't sold Jadon Sancho, and it looks like because of his wages, he's just not going to leave. And even if he does, selling him alone is not enough, because I doubt we'll get a lot of money for Sancho. Rasmus Højlund, everything has gone quiet in terms of him leaving the club, and I never really believed any professional football club would seriously put money on the table for Rasmus Højlund after the season he's had. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. Then you look at someone like Marcus Rashford, who still, it doesn't look like he's going to leave. He's been linked with Barcelona all summer, but they've signed Nico Williams. And I never really believed that Barcelona were genuinely interested in Rashford anyways, because again, not to be mean, not to be insulting or anything, I just don't see a reality where a top club actually wants Marcus Rashford at the moment. Maybe in a few months or a few years, that will change if he finds his form again, but I don't see it right now. I don't think Rashford is rated that highly in the world of football at the moment, and I think a team like Aston Villa is the only team who I can envision going for Marcus Rashford, but he doesn't seem to want that type of move based on the reports and just based on what's out there. You then look at Alejandro Garnacho. You then look at Andre Onana and you ask yourself, is any club in Europe going to sign any of these players for enough money for us to be able to say, okay, there's the money. There's the money to buy two new wingbacks. There's the money to buy a new midfielder and a new striker. There's the money to buy another goalkeeper. I just don't see it. And I know it's early in the window, so I will be more than happy to make an apology video at the end of the window if we have actually replenished the squad adequately and if I feel confident about the business we have done, so confident that I see us moving up the table. And when I say moving up the table, I don't literally mean anything above 15th. I mean like a top 6 finish. Because if we finish 9th next season, that doesn't really prove anything. If we finish 12th next season, yeah, we've improved, but we were so bad that it doesn't really mean anything. I'm not going to be out here making apology videos because we finished 9th. If we actually are competitive next season for the European places, and there is a genuine, undeniable improvement, and we've signed well, I will 100% be more than happy to make an apology video. But for the time being, I don't see it happening. I am worried about Manchester United next season. I was worried last season, but whatever I felt last season pales in comparison to what I'm feeling this season, because I didn't think we'd finish 15th last season. I predicted us to finish 8th. Most people, I think, predicted us to finish 6th. Or some people were even crazy enough to predict us to finish top 4. But I don't think anybody thought we were going to finish 15th. And yet here we are. So before you call me negative and before you run into the comments and say, oh, it's early in the window, there's still so much time, we finished 15th last season. Just remember that. So it's not crazy for me to say Man United might have a bad season. Not will, might. Anyways, it's been your boy Triple M. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new. Peace!